Okay. Good morning, good evening, everyone. Let's get started. Our conversation today is with Ajinkya Rahane, and I don't think he needs much of an introduction, but I'll still make one. But let me quickly get some housekeeping stuff out of the way. For those who are on the community, we love having you on. And for those who are not, it's conversations like these that happen every week. There are questions that your questions on health answered by medical experts, and all of this is for free. So if you're not already a member, consider becoming one, and you can either scan the QR code or Sneha will put a link to the community in the chat window. Okay, our session for next time is going to be a unique one. It's going to be community member stories, and we have 3 community members who have been on the community for a while, and they are going to be talking about what they have learned from the community, from the experts who are on the community that have influenced their lifestyle. We are not suggesting, taking fancy supplements and all of that. Like, just lead a healthy life. You're doing the basic habits, eating well. But what does eating well really mean? Exercising properly. What does exercising properly really mean? And so on and so forth. And so we have Gitanjali, who will be one of the 3 community members being interviewed by me next week. Or actually, this is going to be not next week, but the week after next. So it's in 2 weeks. Next week is a break week. We have Gauri, who is going to be the 2nd community member. And the 3rd is Saish, who happens to be Gauri's husband, but he's also having on his own path journey, health journey. And so 3 very, very fascinating people, very down-to-earth people, and the conversation should be fun and hopefully very informative for those of you who want to understand what practical things you can incorporate into your daily life that will help you. So that's for next week. But to today's guest, it's someone that I think everyone who's on this call knows, and his very, very abridged bio is on the screen. But I actually want to just provide my own introduction to Ajinkya. I've now known Ajinkya for a while, and while we all know him to be an amazingly talented cricketer, what for me personally has always been fascinating watching Ajinkya in action, not just on the TV screen, but in person, is his humility, his discipline, and his ability to stay grounded. I think both through good times and bad times, right? Every athlete, every sports person goes through both. But to stay grounded, to stay humble through all of that is just a treat to watch. And I've heard from many of you when we announced this session that you all have a very similar view. And so it seems to be a theme that Ajinkya emanates. And today's conversation will explore a lot of different aspects of how does one stay healthy, how does one stay fit, and what is the mindset needed, and so on and so forth. But I want to quickly give some interesting facts, trivia about Ajinkya, which I did a little bit of a Google search before this call. So, Ajinkya obviously means undefeated, victorious. And whenever Ajinkya has scored a century in international cricket, India has never lost that game. Okay, there have been a lot of wins and a couple of ties, but India has never lost when Ajinkya has scored a century. I thought that was cool. Ajinkya, he's known to be a classic cricketer, right? But he's also the guy who became the first batsman to hit 6 fours in a single over in IPL history during the 2012 season. Third, Ajinkya has a world record for taking 8 catches in a single test match against Sri Lanka. And the last, which I think is the most fun trivia, is apparently, and Ajinkya, I don't know whether you actually said this, but this is what Google says, that Ajinkya is an avid Bollywood buff who has stated that if a biopic were ever made about his life, he would want his favorite actor Amir Khan to play him. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a quick background. But without further ado, Ajinkya, welcome to the community.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Nikhil. That's absolutely true. That's what I said about the Bollywood thing, and Amir Khan will be the actor. But thank you for having me. Absolute honor to be here. I know you since last, I think 6, 7 years, 7 years now,
Yeah.
probably. So yeah, really happy to be here.
Yeah, no, lovely to have you. So I think let's start, a little bit from the basics. All of us, when we started, when we were in school, all of us had this dream of one day playing for India. You know the
Yeah.
number of billion people who had that dream. Yet you're one of the very, 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 very few who actually achieved it. But I can imagine when you started, you were like everybody else. What was your journey like from being one more of the youth saying one day I want to play for India to actually playing for India? What was that journey like?
No, first of all, just let me just say I'm really grateful and really probably humble to represent the country. As you rightly mentioned, no, every children in India, no, their aim, uh, their goal is to play for country. Cricket is a religion in India. We all know that. But for me, the journey journey so far has been really great. So there's a lot of learnings throughout the journey. I started my career. I started playing cricket in Dombivli.
Mm.
I don't know how many of you know where Dombivli is, but uh, no, I used to travel from Dombivli to Azad Maidan. So probably 1.5, 2 hours of journey from one way. I started my career from there. And how it started, I used to play like any other kid in Mumbai with my friends in our society, in our backyard, uh, playing with tennis ball, playing with the rubber ball, and I've broken many window panes. So every evening, so every single day, there were 2 to 3 complaints used to come at our house, and they used to tell my father, "Please tell Ajinkya to behave properly. He's been breaking our window panes," and it's been like that. And one of our neighbor, Dr. Hambade, he saw me batting with my friends in our society, and then he thought my technique was really good. At the age of 6, my technique was really good. He told my father, "Why don't you put him into an academy where he'll actually get the right advice, right guidance, and you never know what will happen in the future." So my father thought basically, we don't know about the future, but no, if you can go there, it will be a great physical activity for you rather
Mm.
than just staying at home and playing with friends. You can still play with your friends, but go there, probably you'll learn something. Playing sport, we all know that we always learn something. But for me, at the age of 6, I was passionate. Not passionate. Passion became slightly later. Passion came slightly later, but I used to love playing cricket, and I still love playing cricket. It was always about pure joy, pure love, and passion. As I said, came slightly later. So the journey began from there, began from Dombivli. I went there. Mr. Khatu was our first coach, my first coach. And at the age of 8, he thought, no, my technique again was good. So he sent me to the selection trials for under 14. So I was 8 or 9 years old around that time, youngest kid to be there at the selection trials for under 14. And so somehow with blessing from upstairs, a blessing from my parents, I got selected there. But let me tell you one thing. The journey in Mumbai, we all know, traveling by local train, how challenging it is. But I still remember one incident. It was tough. I came from a very, very humble background, lower middle class family. My father was the only earning member in our family. My mom used to take care of my brother, my sister as well. So at the age of 7, so we had our camps, we had our matches at the Azad Maidan. And as I said, 1.5 hours of or 2 hours of journey one way, never easy to travel by local train. And my father came once with me, and the second day he actually said, "No, you will have to travel alone by train at the age of 7." And I literally got scared. I said, "No, seeing the crowded local trains in Mumbai from Dombivli to Azad Maidan, traveling by local train." He said he had no other option because the salary was so low, and he was, as I said, he was only member to take care of our family. He said, "I can't come. You'll have to travel on your own." And I said, "Okay." I went to the compartment. He said, "You will have to get down at the last station."
Hmm.
So, uh, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminals was the last station. So he said, "You don't have to do anything. Get down at the last station, and that's it." So everything went off smoothly. Dombivli to CST, again from CST to Dombivli, coming back after the practice session. And 7, 8 years down the line later, I got to know he followed me from the different compartment,
Wow.
Dombivli to CST, just to see if I can manage well by traveling alone. He stood there at the practice ground at the Azhar Maidan for 4, 5 hours, followed me back to Dombivli, till Dombivli, and went back to his work.
Wow.
And that moment, that I was like, I probably got inspired. No, I never thought, because 7, 8 years down the line, when he said, I was actually following you and my family. Obviously, when I started playing cricket, the goal was to play for Mumbai, play for India. But while doing that, while achieving that, somehow unknowingly you tend to ignore your family. But how they sacrifice for you, that's really special. So I thought, no, I'm going to do something special for my family.
Yeah.
So the journey has been really great. There's lots of learnings along the way. Uh, really grateful, really humble. Where I came from, Dombivli till here, but each and every day, as I said, was always about the learning. There were challenges financially, career-wise, ups and downs, highs and lows. But somehow, my father was always positive. He said, "You got to be positive no matter what. Just wake up in the morning, think good, think about what you want to achieve on that particular day, set your goals, and go and do that. Just give your best." So, no, it's been really great so far. And as I said, till I'm playing cricket, I'm learning.
Yeah. I think, yeah, there is, it effectively you've given an amazing parenting lesson as well, right? Because it, that single act, just listening to it was super inspiring. When you found out, I can only imagine, right? That desire now to do something back is that much higher. We talk about the joy of the game and all of that, and all that is true. But everybody has joy for the game, right?
Yeah.
It is the incidents like this that often turn out to be the single stories that stay in our head that keep inspiring us. You know what? I
Right. I
have
mean,
to now travel.
I don't talk about this incident often, but whenever I talk about this, I get slightly emotional. And no, while achieving your goal, as I said, knowingly, unknowingly, you get busy in what you do, you get occupied in what you want to achieve individually, but then you ignore, the people who sacrifice for you. I think for me, it's always about remembering the people, not only your family. Yes, your family is important, but your couple of friends who's been there with you along the way in your ups and downs each and every time. I think doing for them, I think that also motivates you. So for whenever I'm going through a tough phase uh, in cricket, if I'm not doing well, no, most of the times what happens is you think about your own self. You think about, no, I want to achieve this, but why this is happening with me? But if you shift your focus from yourself, and if you think about, no, let's do something special for my family. No, this game I'm going to play for my family. I'm going to play for my kids now. I'm going to play for my, no, those friends who stood by me every single time when I'm down.
Yeah,
Automatically your pressure is gone. Automatically, no, you think about doing well for someone else, and that gives you that, no, extra joy and that motivation to going out there and no, no, doing well. If you do well or not, that's a different thing. But I think having that thought in your head, obviously, because we play at the level where the pressure is so much, the stress factor is so much.
yeah.
If you dilute that, if you think about, doing well for someone else, that motivates you a lot. So, that's been the fact.
This, I mean, frankly, Ajay, if all anyone took out of this session is what you just said, I think that's already very valuable. Because I think that what you've effectively provided is, and maybe some of us know this at the back of our heads, but you put it so explicitly that sometimes we have to think about more than ourselves. When we think about a bigger mission, the mission could be whatever it is, but you have to look out from just about yourself, right?
Right.
And I think it can be very liberating in some sense to do that, because you stop getting caught up in me, why is this happening to me, I'm so unlucky. Hey, a lot of other people did a lot so that I could be where I am. Let's not get caught up in the small things.
Right. You're
Probably.
absolutely right. I mean, no, just to give you one other example, yes. As I said, I think about the people who sacrificed for me, who stood by me, but also, the people while traveling in the local train, giving me that space for a
Yeah,
young kid to probably sit down, keeping his kid bag or helping him to get down. I think it's about the people. They don't understand, or they will not understand, or they will not know. But I think from my heart, from my mind, even all those people matters a lot to me. Who
yeah,
along the way in my journey help me, even if it's 0.1%, that help, that matters a lot. Because all these small things, when you grow up and you achieve something in your career, this small thing matters a lot.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be amazing to see if anybody remembers. Oh, you know what, Ajinkya, I think he was that kid, that 7-year old on the train, 8-year old on the train.
No,
uh,
actually, I actually make an effort to go and meet those people. Not the people in the train, but no, where I used to live in Dombivli. No, when I broken those window panes, I go and meet them and probably thank them. So, during COVID time, I actually went to Dombivli, saw my school, met those people, and just wanted to say thank you to them, for their support, being around me, and even if they complained to my father, but I thought, their support was always there from
yeah,
behind.
yeah. Yeah, in fact, I think we have Pratik and his son looks like he's probably about that age that you were selected, Ajinkya. And I think, one thing that, you have been able to do is inspire a lot of young people, because the feedback I always hear is not just that you're a great cricketer, but people want to aspire to be like you personally, not just professionally. And I don't think there's a better compliment than that, because professionally, talent, one can say some of it is, we are born with it, but your personality, how you treat others, is not what you're born with. That is something that you have inculcated. And I think, like I said, if the interview were to if our conversation were to stop right here, we've got a lot. But it's not stopping here, so let's talk about other things. um, you know um, you've you started playing at such a young age, right? And now you're in your 30s. And you know in professional sport, that's not young. because
Yeah.
in I read that 27, I think, or 28, I can't remember, is supposed to be the prime age when a sports person is at their peak.
Yeah.
Now, of course, people like Ronaldo and Messi have shown that you can stretch it, but it's not a given. You have to work super hard. And I know you post uh, your, what you, how you're working out and all of that. Can you just talk about, your experience when you were in your early 20s, and, your training schedule? What has changed between then and now in how you go about keeping yourself healthy and fit?
I think no, in your 20s you can do what you want. I mean, you don't have to take breaks. You can work out continuously. Probably not gym workout, but if I was working out early in the morning in my 20s, or take a 10-minute break, go and probably do a running session, come back and do my batting session, or take a lunch break, go and train again. So, but I think no, along the way, I thought no, you become slightly smarter. You become aware about your body and mind, because every year, that's what I learned. Every year, your body and mind works differently.
Hmm.
But I feel after 30s, I became more aware about my body, about my mind, about what helps me physically, what helps me mentally, what helps me skill wise. In my 20s, early 20s, even before 20s, I used to bat a lot. I used to bat for hours and hours. Like, suppose example, as I said, if I used to train at 7, 7 to 9 was my gym session. Take a break, breakfast break, probably start my batting. From 10 to 1, I used to bat
Hmm.
3 hours. Or take a break again. 2:30 to 4:30, 5:30, I used to bat again a lot. Come back and do another probably recovery session, be it a cycling, swimming, or just core exercises or something like that. But I think in my 30s, after 30s, I felt working out smartly, looking after my mind, looking after my body, looking after my nutrition. I think that's what I learned. Getting to know your body really well. I felt in my 20s it was necessary to work harder as in no bat longer skill wise. No, I still work hard, but now I know my body. I think right now for me at the moment, my recovery is much more important than my skill practice.
Yeah.
In my 20s, I felt no recovery was okay. Recovery was secondary. The primary aspect, the important aspect was the skill practice and the strength session and the running session. So I think though no, these are the differences I felt. In my 20s, I used to work you know, tirelessly hours and hours and hours. Now I focus more on my recovery.
Hmm.
If I used to practice for like 3 hours, now I bat for like half an hour, 40 minutes. Because in my head, I'm confident. I know, no, I've been practicing for years. So that practice,
Right.
that habit, that skill is not going to go anywhere. No, at the moment, I have to look after my body. I have to look after my mind. If I have to play, whatever years I want to play, it's about looking after my body and how quickly I recover each and every day. Because as I said, your body reacts differently every year.
Yeah.
And after 30s, especially 34, 35, your body reacts completely different. Every 6 months you see some changes. Your
Yeah.
body gets sore, your body get tired, the niggles, because it's a injuries, the niggles, it's very normal for us.
Yeah.
But then how do I manage that? How do I manage the niggle? If my body is tight, listen to my body. In my 20, even if my body used to get tight, I still used to play because the reaction of the body was different. But now my how I know how my body reacts. So I think respecting my body, listening to my body in a better way at this moment, in this stage, that's how I focus on.
Yeah. And, like I'm 54, so I know exactly what you mean about the body changing. And
Yeah.
And I think you said something which I've always only said half of what you said, but the other half I realize is actually true. Our bodies do change, right? With every passing year, but so does our mind.
Yeah,
And in some sense, the mind is getting smarter and learning how to be more efficient, and telling the body when to push, when not to push, right? And so net, even though you're losing something on the body, you can make up on the mind. Of course, this is only up to a certain stage. At some
yeah,
point, the body goes far down. From a mental point of view, I think you spoke about one aspect, like how much to push. Today, I'm only going to do so much. You
yeah.
spoke about recovery being your like almost your north star to deciding how much to push. How do you gauge recovery? Is it just what your body is telling you? Is it wearables? How are you tracking or getting a sense for your recovery?
For me, I think listening to my body, listening to my mind, because I said, we as a sports people, we look at the reaction of our body, but I feel the reaction of the mind is also very important. And I felt that's the most important part, because your body basically listens to your mind and it reacts to your mind as well. What you think, how you think. So your mind sends a message to your body. So sometimes you got to listen to it. Sometimes I'll have to. No, I probably push myself too much. No,
Hmm.
if there is an important game, no crucial game, if I'm feeling something, if there is a niggle, but then my mind sends a message. No, I'm okay. No, I can pull this off. I can do it. Or if I'm not feeling well, if there is a fever, no, 103, 104 fever, but then your mind tells you, no, you can still do it. No, rather than giving it up, I think you can still push it. So I think listening to my body is matters a lot. I tried wearing the wearables as well, just to see my recovery time.
Hmm.
No example I'll give you. No, all of us. I mean, most of us we do gym session.
Hmm.
Uh, and then if you're not wearing any wearables, no, I was wearing a specific wearable. But then before that, I should take a break for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes unknowingly.
Hmm.
Do a set, do a one workout set or one exercise, and then take 2 minute break. But then when I started wearing that particular wearable, what it what it told me that my heart rate suppose was 170, 180, but it was coming down to 60, 70 within 30 seconds.
Hmm.
So then I actually then started doing my another set in 30 seconds or 40 seconds, example. So the
Right.
recovery factor, unknowingly, unnecessarily, without wearing a wearable, was like 2 or 3 minutes. But when I started wearing that wearable, it was 30 seconds, 40 seconds, just to maintain that high intensity
Right.
as a professional cricketer. But then I don't wear it now. I listen to my mind, I listen to my body, what my body tells me, and that's been helping me a lot as a cricketer, no, as a human being, for everyone. If you can listen to your body and mind tells you everything. Oh, this part of your body or this muscle in your body is stiff. No, you know how much you have to push. So I try to listen to my body. As I said, recovery factor is really important. I focus on a lot of ice bath,
Hmm.
taking ice bath, doing slight no stretching in the swimming pool. No, if you're traveling, the steam and sauna is available everywhere in the hotel. So I try and do that. Try and take hot and cold contrast bath.
Yeah.
So I think that's been helping me a lot. But overall, I felt last 4 or 5 years listening to my mind and body is helping me a lot.
And Ajinkya, what do you do from mental sharpness? Is it meditation? Is it yoga? Like, what helps you with keeping your mind sharp and clear, whether it's on game days or even just on a daily basis?
I think just being in the moment, no, being in that moment, whatever I am doing, it's not only like just sitting quietly or doing meditation. I think if I'm playing with my kids, my focus is there. No, then I keep my phone away. I think most of the times what happens is we are on our phones and then we are occupied, preoccupied every single time. Whatever we see, this social media, the news going on, everything is playing on our head. For me, what is helping me a lot is being in the moment, whatever I'm doing, playing with kids, spending time with family, going for drives, reading a book or watching something on OTT platforms. I think if I'm focused on doing that, uh, no, your mind is sharp. If you're doing something and then thinking about something, then obviously there's too much going on in your head. Then consciously, subconsciously, you get tired. And when
Yeah,
you need to focus, you not able to focus.
yeah, yeah. No,
So
this
that's
is,
what I felt because I tried doing meditation. I still do meditation, but it's not continuously. No, I felt even sometimes doing a gym session is kind of meditation for me because I'm in that zone.
yeah,
Doing my batting session, it's again a kind of meditation because I'm in that zone. So being in that zone, you'll have to find out what gets you in that zone. Every individual is different. Uh, no, focusing on that particular thing which I'm doing. No, I'm in that zone every single time, and I think I don't know how can I explain, but I feel that process or that uh, method is helping me to being sharp mentally.
yeah. No, actually, Ajay, I'm really glad to hear you say that. I have historically not been able to master meditation. My mind always wanders. And it's a
Same,
little bit like, am I
same.
not doing it right? Right.
Yeah.
So it was frustrating actually for me. The two things that helped me, one of which is exactly along the lines of what you said, and that is uh, when I go and play soccer. Uh,
Mm,
I'm so busy trying to figure out how to stop the attackers from getting past me that completely. So I can't think about what's happening in the startup,
right.
right? And that is in some sense meditation, right? Because you've
Yeah.
kept your mind clear of everything else. And so, the fact that you said that you're focused on what you are doing, being in the moment, I think that is a highly underrated way to do meditation, but it's something each of us can do. We just have to remember to keep that phone away and not try to parallel process. I think this multitasking sounds glamorous, but actually, it is probably one of the worst things we do to ourselves. And
Right.
so, I know, and I do want to talk about it if we get the chance about the fact that now you're doing a lot more than cricket. You're involved in a lot of very, very interesting, good for society activities. So it's not like, oh, you don't have enough on your plate. You just got cricket and a family. You got many other things, and yet
Yeah.
you can take the time to focus on what you're doing and not try to multitask. I think I don't see any reason for why the rest of us can't also,
No,
seriously.
don't don't think that I'm the right guy or I'm doing all the right things. No, I do sometimes when I'm playing with my kids or talking to my wife. I'm at times I'm on my phone. But then what I realized basically, if I'm doing that, I get tired very early.
Mhm.
No, my mind is not sharp. I'm not able to think properly. So I still make mistakes. I watch phone. I probably my focus is on something else. If I'm playing with my kids, if I'm talking to my wife, I'm thinking about something else. It's going on.
Yeah,
It's not that no, I'm perfect or I'm doing all the right things. The thoughts do come in your head. Thoughts do probably disturb you at times. But I think if you're able to manage it in a better way or slightly try and avoid the different other things when you're doing something, you'll probably be there. The mind will be sharper.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I do
No, at
make
least
mistakes. It's yeah,
you have proven, Ajinkya, that you're also human. So that's a good thing.
yeah,
But I think it's an aspirational thing for all of us to try and get there, right? Is to
yeah,
try as much as
yeah.
possible to focus on the one thing you are
Right.
focused on. One of the other things that I've always found is uh, injuries, right? I mean, I'm not talking about niggles. Now I'm talking about like serious injuries,
Yeah,
which keep, athletes out or sports people out for months. And even with access to the best doctors and all, the whole recovery from that is a whole different level. Uh, and what I'm curious about is, I know you've probably gone through it multiple times. What is that like to get back? Because everybody's trying to make a beeline for the team. Every month you spend out,
Yeah.
somebody else gets a chance. How do you deal with that both physically and mentally?
I feel it's more of a mental thing. The mental aspect is very important because injuries are part and parcel of especially the sports person's career, their life. For the important thing I felt is to accept, first of all. The acceptance is very important that no, this injury has happened to me. Okay, so for that moment, you feel bad, you feel disappointed, you feel hurt. But I think the the sooner the you accept, okay, this has happened to me. What is the way forward? What is the what do I have to do to probably get on the field as soon as possible? So I'll give you an example. As you rightly said, every one of us, like sports people, especially, we go through the injuries, and I went through like hamstring injuries, ankle injuries, calf injuries. One of the serious hamstring injury happened to me in 2021, 2021, 2022, and another doctor said probably uh, I'll not be able to play cricket, and no, because that whole tendon, the muscle is gone. So you'll have to go through the surgery, do this, do that, but no, you never know. And then I said, the first thought came to my mind was, I'm okay. I'll be on the field. But to do that, I said, I'll follow the proper routine, the follow proper process, start doing my rehab, and we'll see what happens. So I started doing my the rehab factor. To do that, I think I felt the discipline was very important. Discipline
Mhm.
not only in rehab, but discipline in my food habit, discipline in my sleeping pattern. So I do sleep early. I do sleep around 10:30. I wake up at 5:36 every day. But to follow that routine when I was injured was very important because then your body gets lethargic, your mind gets lethargic. You start eating many other things when you're injured. You're not working out. So I think for me, it was about following the pattern, following the process. Be disciplined and do the boring things day in day out. I think that's the when you get injured, you have to do the boring things. The rehab is boring. But to
Yeah,
train my mind in that fashion was really important and acceptance. As I said, first up, I got better in 7 weeks. I was on the field in 8 weeks. So I think when you get injured, your mind, the mental power is really important. What you think and how you think. So no matter how big or small injury is, but I think what your mind always sends that signal to your body, and then you recover in that way. So I
yeah,
felt in that my hamstring injury, that was really important. Following discipline, being disciplined, following the pattern and doing boring things day in, day out. Not enjoying doing boring things day in, day out. So
yeah.
there was another incident, WTC final where I played in 2023. My finger was like broken, and I had no idea that it was broken. It was this big, but I thought if I go to do the scans, it will play on my mind. So when I was batting, so I thought let me find out a way. Let me figure it out a way to bat without one finger. So then I told my physio, no, let's probably tape or no, do something extra padding on my glove. No, you can give me a couple of injections, painkillers, and then start batting. But then without taking any painkiller injection, I thought that helped me a lot. The mental power helped me a lot. to overcome that pain and to play in that game as well. So the first factor to answer your question, acceptance when you get injured, but then after that, being positive in your head
Yeah.
matters a lot, and being ready to do boring things rather than
Yeah.
again why this has happened to me, or how can I now get back on the field. This is difficult, this is challenging. I think if you think in that way, then it takes time. But if you're positive in your head, if you accept things and try to enjoy all those boring things,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah, I think there are two, three very critical points in what you made, Ajinkya, which I want to reiterate. One is the life of a sports person in general, right, is not very glamorous. It's made out to be glamorous, is actually doing the same thing every day
Yeah.
and being okay with it, not being okay, and in fact, enjoying it, enjoying the
Yeah.
boring things. Right. Second is you mentioned that the doctor even said you might have to stop playing cricket. Yet in 7 to 8 weeks, you are back on the field. And I think the power of positive thinking is highly underappreciated in health, right?
Yeah.
You having a very strong positive frame of mind matters a lot in being healthy. So I think that was the
Mm.
other very critical point that at least I took away from it. I've always sort of felt it, but I think these type of stories. And then the third one is the fact that once you've made up your mind, you're going to play that game with that broken finger. Now it's a case of problem solving. How do I
Yeah.
protect it so that it doesn't come in the way of me being able to do what I need to do?
Yeah. So it's always about, I felt it's always about finding a way. If things are not going your way, if you're injured, or finding a way rather than just getting into that negative mindset. I think you're finding another way to get back on the field or to do to achieve something.
Yeah. you know uh, you have seen all of this, you've come this far, and you have interacted with a ton of athletes, not just cricketers, but even from other sports. And I know, for example, you write on LinkedIn about about the various athletes
Yeah.
you have been inspired by, impressed by, enjoy being around. Who are some of the athletes, Ajinkya, from your perspective, that you find yourself constantly learning? Like I'm sure that you learn a little bit from everybody, but who are a couple that come to your mind when you think of this question?
Um, I think there are many. Like no, you said you learn from everyone. No, that's the process, and that's how I always played my cricket. Even when I was the captain, my mindset was always about learning from my teammates. No, learning from the guy who has just played one game. I think you can still learn something from him. But I think to take few names, probably in cricketing world, Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, MS Dhoni. These guys I always looked up to. Uh, Always learned something from them. But I think apart from cricket, I'm lucky enough to meet Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Djokovic as well. So I think to see them working out, to see them to go about their business, the sport, uh, teaches you a lot. The j- the journey, there are ups and downs in every sport, but the process you follow each and every day, you get up and try and achieve something on that day matters a lot. Uh, the one thing I've always learned that for me, success is about getting up every day and go and the follow my routines, follow the process, do the preparation, work really hard, work smarter. If I'm able to do that consistently, even if I'm not feeling well, if even if my body is not uh you know giving me that, I'm not 100% right, but still I'm pushing myself. No, I think that is success for me. Doing rather than thinking about the result, thinking about the outcomes or achieving that special milestone or getting that award or whatever. That's not success. I mean, that's byproduct. But I think success, getting up every day, doing the right things, doing it passionately, doing it with love, and no all those boring things, the stretches. No, I'll give you a small example. For us as cricketers, the warm ups are the boring part, the most boring part. but we still have to get up every day, do our warm up, do our rehab sessions, the stretches, and then getting ready for the game or the practice sessions. I think doing all those things over the period of time consistently, for me, success is about that. So that's what I learned from all these greats. Doing the boring things day in, day out, no matter how you feel, mentally or physically, no matter no previous game or previous day was good or bad, but next day you are going up and doing the same things. I
Yeah.
think that's what I learned from all these people.
It's quite fascinating. I think you say that because, it's very easy to say, oh, from this guy, I learned about, how to hit a really good backhand. But it's actually, it's this something as straightforward as even at that level of greatness, Roger Federer still has to wake up and still do his warm ups. And he does his warm ups with the same level of, consistency and discipline as he was probably doing it when he was six. And that is probably one of the greatest lessons is the ability to stay consistent. And whether it's health, right? Even when we talk about preventive health,
Yeah,
it's very rarely about, oh, this one magical supplement is going to change my health. It's usually, hey, every day, are you having the right amount of fiber and you're getting good protein and
yeah,
are you doing that walk? It's still the boring things that eventually make for greatness in anything
right,
you do.
right.
Um, I know, I think we're running out of time. I do want to keep time aside for audience questions, but I do want to talk about one thing that uh, I really admire, and that is all these different things you're getting yourself involved with, right? Um, can you just talk about a couple of the because you're working on a lot of things, but a couple of the initiatives? For example, you spent a couple of days in Nasik. Uh, I know when we have spoken, there are lots of initiatives. Just if you're open to sharing some of the ones that you are working on that bring you great joy and a feeling of I'm doing something that really matters to me personally, what would some of those be?
So I'm now you mentioned something the start of the session. Whenever I scored 100, we've never lost. For me, I think giving back to society, contributing to the society, apart from cricket, is really important. Spreading that awareness. So talking about what I do, I am actively involved in agri space. As you very well know, I am actively involved in health sector as well. You know that as well. So for me, I think creating that awareness, I'm not an expert in that sector, but I think creating that awareness, whatever cricket has given me, I think helping people. I come from a farming family, so I have seen my grandmother waking up early, getting into the farms, working hard for us. But how challenging it is, how tough it is to work in the farms, and also this now climate change. The farmers, they struggled a lot. They struggle a lot in India. So I think trying to create awareness, trying to see if if they get the right things from monetary point of view to the right education to the awareness as well to health sector. Because of I play cricket, being a sports person, I understand the importance of health, importance of the nutrition, importance of eating right food. Probably I learned something from you when we met first time. No, the right way to eat. No, how do I start? Then the middle portion and the end portion, how it should be. So I think for me it's about now spreading the awareness, try and see where I can help, when I can chip in, and with me if uh, the right people, if they join me and create the bigger awareness, the bigger support. That's what matters. So I think in agri-tech, in agriculture, in health sector, it's about the spreading awareness and also try and help people, try and tell them the right things. But apart from that, also I focus because now we are building farmhouse in Nasik, and know how important our environment is. Uh, to tell my kids, No, we planted just I think 10 days back we planted 150 trees near our farmhouse. So before that also we planted no around 10,000 trees over the period of time. But I think telling my kids about our environment, about our earth, no, that matters a lot. And all these things, no, helping people, guiding people, or spreading awareness, that gives me that joy. No, I'll be very frank with you. No, there are sectors where I invested. It's purely from the returns point of view, from the
Mm.
monetary point of view. But all these sectors where the agri-tech, the agriculture, or the health sector, it's about, firstly, it's about creating the awareness, telling people the right way, and use my image, what cricket has given me, try and help people in that way.
Yeah.
So I think all these things, gives me joy.
Yeah. And I want to just second what Ajinkya said as a recipient of that. I'm not, like Ajinkya said, we have known each other for about 7 years. And what, whenever I require some specific help or insight, if I reach out to Ajinkya, I can guarantee you that he will follow up with me and say, Nikhil, you had asked me to do this. I've been able to get this. This is still a work in progress. That that to me is something, frankly, Ajinkya, I would never have imagined, given how busy a life you have with everything on your plate, how you find time to do that. But it's actually what you're talking about is not just talk, is action that
Yeah.
people like me have seen. And for those who are on the longevity circle community, Ajinkya is a big supporter of what we do, and it's not words. It's not support in words. It's more than words. And to me, I always highly appreciated that. Let me move to questions. Ajinkya, I know I have a ton of questions that I wanted to go over with
Yeah.
you, but we'll probably do a second session in a few months. But uh, uh, I'll just go over the questions that have been asked. Um, Saish just made a comment, looking forward to a good session with Ajinkya, my favorite cricketer. He had sent me this message even earlier.
Okay.
Saish is our guest for next week, or the next session in 2 weeks. But you have a big fan following. I'm sure you already know that. Uh, Pratik said, "Hello Nikhil, thank you for making this happen. Ajinkya's presence in this one pulled my son into the session. He's a big cricket fan. Such a great opportunity to be attending this." Um,
Thank you.
Sachin has been is a doctor and my classmate and someone who knows Vikram as well. He said, "I'm a doctor. I love sports, but post injury that happened, it took me out for 6 weeks. Now I'm fine, but mentally I don't commit 100%." And I think this comment probably came when you were talking about how much it is just mental, right? Getting over the thing. Can you commit back? And Ajink, I think I told you I broke my leg playing soccer.
Yeah, you
I'm a
told me that.
titanium rod. And I realized that when I went back to playing, I could not play sort of half-hearted, because then you go into tackles half-hearted, chance of injury are even higher. So I was like, if I go back to playing, I need to commit. If I'm not committed 100%, it's better I don't go back. And so I know Sachin really follows you, and I think you've given him something to think about. Sanat said, probably a very controversial slash wrong question to be asking a top-notch cricketer, but do you think the overall health of the young generation will improve if we de-emphasize cricket a bit and emphasize games that are equally or even more dynamic and need less money and equipment, such as kho, kabaddi, football?
Wow. I think I'll be able to answer that question later on.
Yeah. So we'll park it, and
Nikhil,
whenever you get a chance,
no, you can message me this question. I'll probably
I'll message you
reply
the
you
question exactly.
on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, yeah. It is a deep question, and thank you for asking that. But I
Yeah,
think this definitely requires a little bit of thought,
because
because
to answer, because I feel I just don't want to answer it. No, anything.
yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you
So
mean.
yeah,
You don't want to just give a answer for the sake of an answer.
right,
It's a
right.
good question, requires a deeper
Yeah,
answer, and
yeah.
Sanat will make sure to give you a response back to the question once Ajinkya has the time to had the time to think through it properly.
Yeah.
Uh, Saish, against Ajinkya, you were so calm after the miracle win at the GABA in 2021, when it was probably the highlight of your captaincy career. What was going through your mind at that moment?
Uh, no, that let me tell you first thing that that moment, that series was very special for everyone. For me as a captain, being the leader of the team, it was very special. But know how it started from Adelaide. No one thought that we get out on 36 and not all out 36 for 9 because Shami was injured. He got injured. But then to from that to get back and then in the end winning the series was special. Uh, the important factor happened in that series after Adelaide was we never we were never thinking about the result and the outcome. It was about the team. It was about the you know trying helping each other out, trying enjoy each other's success, and be together as a team rather than thinking about the result and outcome. Because we were able to do that for those 3 matches. No result came in our favor, but frankly, no. My message to everyone was about let's play a three-test match series from now on. Remove Adelaide from our head. Let's be in the moment. Let's help each other out and let's enjoy each other's success. Guys who are not doing well, put your hand around his shoulder and support him. So I think we just because we were engrossed, we were involved together as a team, as a unit. That because of that, we were able to play good cricket. We were able to enjoy on on the cricketing field because it's very important when the things like Adelaide, 36 for 9, and when you lose a test match, that plays on your head. And when you think about uh, that particular incident, you are not able to give justice to your talent. You are not able to perform well under pressure. Just because we were in the moment, we wanted to play for each other, play for our teammate. That's why we created that history, and it was always about being keeping it simple and being together. As I said, the unity.
Yeah. I mean, I think where probably Saish has also been thinking about is it's very usual to watch the captain, take that joy and, it make a big deal and, be your understated self. You didn't make it about, I'm the captain. You made it about this is a victory for the team. And the fact that you created a culture on that in that series of this is our win. This is the win for everybody involved. I think that probably is uh, absolutely you, Ajinkya.
Yeah.
Uh, Pratik's question: what food and fitness habits should a child wanting to be a sportsman or athlete be focusing on?
I think uh, right now, uh, no, for everyone thinking about the right amount of right type of food, the nutrition is very important because the world has changed, the game has evolved. Do you end up playing so many matches throughout the year? No matter what level you are playing, even if you're playing at the club level, you play so many games. So it's about eating right amount of carb, your protein, uh, your fiber as well. All these things matters a lot. I think personally, what I do whenever I'm not playing, I avoid carbs. So if I'm playing, if my workload is high, my carb intakes go slightly on a higher side because then the recovery factors matters a lot. When I eat carb during high workload, then recovery is slightly in a better way. But if I'm not playing, I feel the carbs. I completely cut down on the carbs. I focus on fiber and the protein, and they're keeping it simple. But again, listening to your body is very important. uh, when you're eating something. You are allowed to do cheat days. It's not about you follow a very strict diet and then you end up eating. After 2, 3 months or 6 months, you end up eating that having that one cheat day, and then after that you eat next 10, 15 days. You keep on eating that sugar, the sweet things.
Yeah.
I always felt if I'm following the routine I make sure that every 15 day or every 20 day, no, try and eat something what I like in a controlled manner so
Yeah,
that I don't feel like eating every day. No,
yeah,
if you're able to do that, I think that's great. But again, every individual is different. So that's why I said listening to your mind and body, what you want to eat, your body tells you.
yeah.
Uh, so,
Yeah.
but
And I think again, there are two important points for people to take away. One is that um, when you exercise a lot, the days you exercise, your body does need the carbs. So don't go
yes,
on, I'll never have high carbs. Your carbs
yeah,
should match your energy needs. And I think it's a very
yeah.
important point that should
And
be taken away.
I never actually believed uh, taking whey proteins or like the protein powders. I always focused on taking protein in a natural way in
And your
from
food.
my food intake.
Yeah.
So that's what is important. Or wherever the food is not available, uh, then obviously I do like to take plant protein. So that's my thing. But I always believed, always dependent on the natural food.
Yeah. Food should always be the primary source of all nutrients. And only when you can't get it from food, you know, then look at proper supplements, not all
Yeah,
supplements.
yeah.
Uh, the, it's great. There are lots of compliments, Ajinkya. Great to hear. Humble, insightful, explained in a simple manner. For Sneha, you inspired her 16-year-old son and 11-year-old daughter who are listening to this session. Um, the mindset part of that is difficult to understand. Would like to know some quick mind programming hack if possible. What do you think when you go to bed and in the first few minutes after waking up?
What I uh, do before going to bed is basically do the recap of the day.
Hmm.
The things which I did right, things which I can learn on that particular day, and then probably have that still positive thought when I get up and I wake up. Obviously, being grateful each and every day, before you go to the bed, and also when I wake up, it's about probably first thing I do is keeping my phone on the side. Don't look at my phone when I wake up. Just sit quietly without any thoughts for 2 3 minutes, and then I probably plan my day. What I want to achieve on that particular day. Make notes if I need to be, and then
Yeah.
just try and achieve those things.
No, lovely. Uh, there are lots more. Mayank, Swati, Nadia, Hiram. They all said you're a legend. Lots of learning.
Hiram,
Um,
how are you? Hiram is there?
yeah, Hiram is on. Uh, and uh, and so I just want the community to show their love, Ajinkya, for this session. Thank you so much for doing this. I asked Ajinkya like a couple of weeks back, Ajinkya, can you do this now that the IPL season is over? As in his usual gracious, generous manner, he was like, absolutely. I got a time slot with him. And thank you, Ajinkya, for being who you are, for inspiring so many of us. And today, we definitely had very insightful takeaways. So thank you very much. And thank you to the community.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed.
Lovely. All right. Bye bye, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Thanks, Nikhil. Bye.
Bye.